Blink Publishing presents Inside Belmarsh, Banged Up Inside Britain's Toughest Prison, written by Jonathan Levi and Emma French and read by Carl Jenkinson. Prologue. There would be plenty of time for questions later. At this moment, though, an attack was going on that was serious enough to land a man in Belmarsh's infamous segregation unit, or the SEG, as the prisoners call it. The regime on the unit is brutal. I was sent there because I stabbed another offender with a pen on the vulnerable prisoner unit. The man had killed his own baby and at court got away with a manslaughter charge. I'm in no position to judge, but his attitude was appalling. Firstly, he got a ridiculously short fixed sentence. He was walking around the unit saying he was no nonce and acting up like a gangster. He said something to me which I took offence to, and I hit him. I had the pen in my hand, and I just stabbed him in his face with the pen. It's the prisoner's word against anyone else in terms of what happened next, but his account of it is striking either way. So, I was taken to the segregation unit. I was actually attacked by staff within this unit. It was the DST, Dedicated Search Team, or Men in Black as offenders call them because all their uniform is black. Yes, DST came to my cell to search it. I was set up. They asked me to squat with my pants down. This is normal, as it allows them to use a mirror to inspect your buttocks to ensure you have nothing cheeked. As I did this squat, they pushed me forward on purpose. Then they all attacked me in the cell. They hit the alarm bell and claimed I attacked them. Of course, within the cell there was no CCTV. I was bent up and assaulted. They claimed my injuries and bruising was the result of me resisting being restrained, which was ridiculous, given I did nothing wrong. This was their excuse to assault me and get away with it. Chapter 1. Introduction to Belmarsh, Britain's toughest prison. In general life, you could walk down the road and you won't know who you're interacting with, what they're about or anything. But in this type of environment, you know the worst traits of people and what they're capable of. Matthew. HMP Belmarsh, arguably the most infamous prison in the UK. How did a facility that has been open for less than 35 years gain such a fearsome reputation? Built as the first adult male prison in London since Wormwood Scrubs, which finished construction way back in 1891, Belmarsh was revolutionary from the start. Not just in design, but in function. However, its notoriety stems from many other unique features as well as its inmates. One notable example of this is that Belmarsh is the only prison in England and Wales with such a purpose-built prison within a prison, otherwise known as the High Security Unit, HSU, designed to house some of the most dangerous criminals in the country. While Belmarsh can hold up to 910 men, just 48 can be confined within the HSU at any given time. The prison also contains a segregation unit, which we describe in more detail in Chapter 9, and two notorious cells known as the boxes. These are bleak, windowless isolation rooms with no beds, sinks or toilets. Over the years, the HSU has held a chilling mix of IRA bombers, KGB spies, Al-Qaeda terrorists, and even Charles Bronson, whose violent reputation earned him his own private spur. Yet despite its Category A prisoners, Belmarsh also functions as a standard prison. Around 1 in 5 inmates is a convicted murderer, yet many others serve time for lesser offences. How do staff balance handling petty criminals alongside serial rapists, terrorists and gang leaders? And what happens when such high-risk individuals are forced to coexist? This book explores some of the most notorious inmates to have passed through Belmarsh's gates, including Abu Hamza al-Masri, Hashim Abidi, Michael Adebowale, great train robber Ronnie Biggs, Wayne Couzens, Usman Khan, Jordan McSweeney and John Warboys. Many infamous prisoners remain there today, such as David Copeland. Daniel Khalif, Stephen Port and Kyrie Sadala. As one former Belmarsh inmate put it, over the years, you can be sure that with all the high-profile cases heard at the Central Criminal Court or Woolwich Crown Court, the offenders were detained at HMP Belmarsh, some of whom I've personally met. Mark Dixie, the Sally Ann Bowman case, Steve Wright, the Suffolk Strangler, Stuart Hazel, the Tia Sharp murder in Croydon, Barry George, the Jill Dando case, John Warboys, the black cab rapist, who is now known as John Radford. He changed his name. Wayne Cousins, the Sarah Everard case, Stephen Barker, the Baby P case, John Duffy, the 1980s railway killer, Kenny Noy, Ian Huntley, the Sower murders, and Lee Rusher, Roger Coots, Stuart Royal, Airmere Heisenage and Jetmere Butchpacker, who all pulled the largest cash robbery in UK history, the Securitas robbery in Tunbridge, Kent, in February 2006. His list didn't end there either. Terrorists, the London bombers, the Hatton Garden Job crew, Rita Jones and the others. Many high-profile cases over the years have had the pleasure of experiencing the harsh regime at HMP Belmarsh. Belmarsh has held an extraordinarily diverse range of prisoners, many of whom were not convicted of violent crimes. You'll hear from Jonathan Aitken, who shared his experiences inside and told us stories that are shocking, moving and at times darkly humorous. Of course, Jeffrey Archer and Julian Assange have also spent time within its walls. With a level of security and surveillance second to none, no prisoner has ever successfully escaped from Belmarsh. Through accounts of daily routines, brutal fights, gang warfare, drug smuggling, and moments of unexpected redemption, this book uncovers the truth about life inside Hellmarsh.
I'm Nicola Tallant and you're watching Crime World, a podcast about criminals, drugs and the underworld in Ireland and across the globe. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you can be the first to watch all our latest episodes. You can also listen wherever you get your podcasts.